as cold but not as snowy Tuesday afternoon as we thought it was going to be. We were told we were going to get this huge dumping of snow and everybody should be prepared. You know, stay inside, no one's going anywhere, and we hardly got anything. Kind of typical, but you never know. When they give you those warnings, you got to kind of heed to them, and then when they don't happen, you're kind of almost disappointed. It's a weird feeling. Anyway, today we are going to get started on our St. Patrick's Day celebration. We are going to make an Irish stew. This is a recipe that you can take and you can make on your own on Friday for the kids, right? For the family, whatever. So we are going to start with browning some stewing beef, and then I will get to the rest of the recipes. But while we're doing this, I have about a tablespoon of avocado oil in the bottom of my rock crop on a medium-high setting, and I'm just going to put in my stewing beef. I have about 2.5 pounds of stewing beef here. We're going to get it all in. That crackle you hear is an awesome crackle, because that means that your pot, your rock crop, your skillet is super hot, and that it's going to sear that meat, which is what we want. We want that meat to get brown. We don't need to get it all the way cooked or cooked through all the way, because we're going to end up stewing it in a bit anyway. It's going to sit, it's going to cook. We just want those flavor bits from searing. So you're going to see these little brown bits that are going to stay inside the pot. They're also going to sear the edges of your meat. It just locks in a whole bunch more flavor. So we're going to let that sit for a couple minutes. We're going to stir it around a little bit, try to get some more flavor bits, and then we're going to take the meat out. So it's about 2.5 pounds of stewing beef I'm using. You can also use lamb. Lamb is a traditional Irish stew component. We have some flavor issues in this house with lamb. Not me personally, but stewing beef is a great substitute for that if that's something you don't want to go through. I've also got some parsley here we're going to use for garnish. Salt, pepper, thyme as our spice. I have a carrot chopped up. I have 2 onions sliced up rather coarsely. Nothing needs to be finely chopped here. It's going into a stew, so you need it to be hearty. I have 3 small potatoes. You could get away with 2 large potatoes chopped here. And I've got some mushrooms also. One of the items that I would like to put in and forgot to bring out is some frozen peas or frozen edamame. I'm pretty sure I have frozen edamame, but you could use peas too, just to add green to make the color, and also a little bit more of the nutrition, right? The soybean adds a little more to the meal. You've already got a lot of protein. Probably don't need a ton of it, but it also gets the kids used to eating green, right? It gets them used to seeing little peas and things, so that when they see them on their plate as a side or whatever, they don't run from them. If they start to see them more often, it's all about the theory of introduction, and the more times they touch a food, the more likely they are to develop a liking towards it, right? So that's what we always try to do. You always try to incorporate as many different things into your food as you can. My fridge door's open. And the beeping's driving me crazy. I don't even know if you can hear it. So we're searing this meat. You can see that some of our meat here, it's a nice piece here to show you with the browning. There's a good one. So what you want is this nice brown sear on the meat, right? Even a little bit more than that is ideal. So that's the brown searing you want to see on your meat. The higher the heat, the better that gets, and the quicker it gets there. Over time, after a bit, what's happening now is the juices from the meat are all at the bottom, so it's going to be hard to sear it. It's probably beyond its point. That's why in the beginning you use just a little bit of oil, enough to coat the bottom of your pan. Then you put that meat on, and you put it on so that that loud sear that you heard gets all of that onto the meat. It's really, really helpful for that. So now we've got too much stuff at the bottom. We're more cooking our meat, which we don't want to do. So I'm going to remove it from the pot, but I'm not going to remove these juices. I am going to turn off the heat though, because we don't need the searing anymore. I'm going to put this onto my slow cooker. my handy dandy trusty Rock Crock slow cooker stand. You could also do this recipe in your oven. Excuse me. You could set it at 325 and do this in your oven in 2 hours. Or you can put it on your slow cooker stand for 3 hours on high or 6 hours on low, depending on which one fits your schedule best. You're going to go with that. I'm going to take my potatoes now. I'm just going to leave these nice juices in the bottom, and I'm going to throw the potatoes in first. Is there a direct order? Not really. I don't think so. It's just the way I'm doing it. You pick whichever way you want to do it. Onions and mushrooms. Throw some carrots in there. I don't know, we could do this all in funny modes. It's not going to matter. It's a stew. It's all going to come together anyway. We're going to sandwich our meat in here in the middle. Lots of juices. You want to make sure you capture all those juices. This is a really nice, quick, and simple recipe to get ready before a day where you're heading out. It's March break. Everybody's doing day trips here or there. It's nice to come home after a chaotic day with fighting the crowds and doing all kinds of things with the kids to a stew that's ready to go. We're going to add 4 cups of beef broth. I want it to splash. Excellent. We're going to do, if you have fresh thyme, you're going to want to add 2 tablespoons. We are going to add 2 teaspoons because we are using dried thyme. Okay. Actually, I'm only going to add 1 because thyme is quite strong. And it will add a ton of flavor with just the 1. Salt and pepper as always. Remember, we have a broth in here, so your salt is not as needed, but pepper is always nice. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to check my freezer really quickly for some edamame, just to add my nice green. If not, oopsies. If not, we're done. We're going to throw this on the slow cooker, and we're going to go. Edamame. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to do about a cup. We're going to eyeball this because we're cooking, we're not baking. You can eyeball when we're cooking. Eyeballing when you're baking, not recommended. Eyeballing when you're cooking, okay, totally okay. Different scenarios. That's about a cup. So now we've got some colors in here. We've got green and orange and white and brown. This is going to work out just wonderfully. So that's it. I mean, we've got the stew set up. I'm going to move this out of the way here. Going to turn our slow cooker on high. Put the lid on our rock crock. 1 oven mitt. 2 oven mitts geared up. And now I'm done. I can walk away for a couple hours and come back and I'll have my stew. What would you do with that stew once it's ready to go? This is where your parsley comes in. You're going to want to have about a cup of parsley chopped up. Remember we did that trick where we can use the shears inside of a small bowl. You want about a cup of that when it's done. Because over top when you when you scoop your stew into a bowl, you're going to want to sprinkle that parsley on top. It adds a nice color as well as a fresh flavor to the stew. It's really, really nice. Also, if you've got any sort of bread, a baguette on the side with some butter, that's like a traditional meat and potatoes kind of meal, right? That's what you're going for. That's what you're aiming for with your Irish theme. That's how you're going to want to serve that. So when you come back in 3 hours, you're ready with your baguettes and your chopped up parsley. You're going to sprinkle that on, and there you go. It's going to be a wonderful meal for you. So there's your first meal, or your meal for Irish on Friday. So now you're going to have the luck of the Irish through your rock crock on Friday, just before you drink all your green beer. Food first, then beer. Remember that. Food first, then beer. All right, enjoy your stew. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.